Building permit fees, $1,384. Zoning fees, $110. Dog licenses, $92.50. Time Warner, $15,202.90. Mariner Towers, $762.20. Phoenicia Water rents, $10,000. Highway interest, $179.18. Supervisor's interest, $11,944.39. FEMA Sandy reimbursement for the highway, $26,474.80. Fuel reimbursement, $13,932.16. New York State Assessor reimbursement, $104.19 for a grand total of $126,783.23. Communications. Safari. Earlier this evening, the town held a public hearing concerning a freshly developed flood mitigation plan. This document has been the highlight of the Safari Group's activity for the better part of the last 2 years. By all standards, this may be the most comprehensive flood mitigation plan developed specifically for a local municipality in the Catskill region. Several other municipalities have requested copies, once approved, to assist them in developing plans of their own. The plan itself outlines several physical locations throughout the town that are of concern. We have also highlighted several proposed projects throughout the town. Due to forthcoming changes in the National Flood Insurance Program and flood mapping throughout the town, which will increase flood insurance costs townwide in the near future, the plan also explores the community rating system to assist the town in reducing those rates. There are several ordinances and regulation changes that the town will consider over the coming months, and not only to help reduce the flood rates, but help to make the town more resilient to flooding. The town will hold a special meeting concerning the plan and flood mapping later this month. These are highly complicated issues and require a lengthy meeting to inform every one of the details. That meeting is scheduled for Thursday, July 25th, following an educational seminar on the subject for municipal representatives the day prior. Recreation. We have resolutions tonight to hire the counselors and junior counselors for this year's summer recreation day camp. I'd like to commend Rayla and Manny for interviewing the more than 15 applicants for the 7 available positions. There were some outstanding applicants, and we'd like to thank all the applicants for their patience in the process. We also have a resolution tonight to hire a transportation company for the 2 planned field trips to the Ulster County Fair and Zoom Flume Water Park. And I'm sure Rayla will be more than happy to offer us some more of the details of this year's camp, slated to start next Tuesday, July 9th, during the recreation report. Phoenicia Water. The town has received a pre-approval letter from NYSEG for replacement of the pumps at the Phoenicia Water Plant on Plank Road. NYSEG will reimburse the town approximately $14,000 to replace the 3 pumps. There is a minimal plumbing cost associated with this work, approximately $3,000, that cannot be reimbursed through the grant guidelines. We'd like to thank NYSEG for providing these monies and helping us preserve funding to continue smooth operation of the Phoenicia Water District. Additionally, the Water District has been in consideration of finishing the loop from High Street to the Woodland Valley Bridge. Estimates for this project exceed available funds in the current Water District budget. The Water District's annual budget is just over $145,000. The project is estimated at $116,000. At this time, FEMA and the State of New York have reopened hazard mitigation grant funding for projects associated with Irene, Lee, and Sandy. This funding could be used to combine the loop project with moving the High Street pump house from alongside the stream where it currently resides to a higher location. This project is one that is highlighted in the flood mitigation plan currently being considered for adoption. This activity requires an LOI, or a letter of intent, being sent to FEMA by this Friday, July 5th. We may discuss this further during the Phoenicia Water Committee report. Town Board. The town has resolutions to renew the municipal insurance policy. The cost of the insurance has increased slightly over last year, mostly due to the claims filed for the highway vehicles that burned earlier this year. The cost is $72,004, still within the budgeted amount for the insurance. We also have a number of town-owned unusable vehicles located throughout the town. We will scrap these vehicles and the proceeds will be sent to the appropriate department to help offset their budgets. Highway. Eric has several roads that are due for repaving, and the town is seeking bids for these roads. Any inquiries should be posted to his department. Specification documents will be posted to the town website and available directly from the highway department. The The town has interviewed a dozen applicants for the current opening of the Planning, Zoning, Building Secretary. The town board will be convening an executive session prior to the resolutions to discuss the available candidates. We hope to have whomever we select start as soon as possible. The town apologizes for any inconvenience this may have created for residents and contractors over the past week. We also have a resolution to hire some new ambulance personnel to help us fill out the schedule due to a few personnel losses over the last few months. This does not increase the budget, as all these employees are paid only for the shifts they work. We also have the annual application for the Phoenicia International Festival of the Voice, which continues to garner more and more international attention for our town every year. There are representatives here from the festival to update us on this year's planned activities, and we certainly wish them continuing success in this endeavor, and they will report shortly. And that's what I have. And Joyce has a couple of announcements. Some nice events going on. Oh, and I have to say, the Big Indian Car Show was a fantastic event this weekend. A lot of cars there and beautiful weather. And if you haven't made it yet, I highly suggest you make it there next year's event.
Okay, town offices will be closed this Thursday and Friday, July 4th and 5th. There will be no DMV bus. The next one is due in 2 weeks from Friday. On July 20th and 21st is the Shandaken Art Studio Tour. You can visit over 30 artists in their working spaces, enjoy gallery openings, and view outdoor sculptures against the backdrops of the high peaks of the Catskills. For more info, go to shandakenart.com. Phoenicia Library is having a fishing clinic on Wednesday, July 17th from 1 to 3. You go to their temporary location at 9 Ava Maria Drive, or call them at 688-7811 for more info. And the library fair at the Morton Memorial Library in Pine Hill is Saturday, July 20th from 10 to 4. There's a huge amount of events. I'm not going to read them all. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thunder in the Valley Intertribal Powwow, the Native American Song and Dance, is in the Big Indian Valley Park on Saturday and Sunday, July 20th and 21st. Open all day. For more information, call Mary Lou or Frank Stapleton at 254-4238. And for new residents in the town, our office came up with these. These were actually Patty Hines' idea. They're welcome packets for new residents, and also if you don't have a computer, all this information is on our website. It's like a quick start guide to how to live in an area where there's no cell service and no newspaper, but we get along just fine. So you have lots of information here about bears, about church hours, everything you need to know. So just stop by our office and call us, and we'll send you a copy. That's it.
Any other communications?
One question I got, Rob, with Phoenicia Water.
Yes.
In the letter you sent the committee on June 20th, you said that letter of intent.
Yeah, originally it
by
was
the
due
28th?
June 28th. They've
Right.
extended it. They just extended it last week or the week before. Just after I wrote that letter, they extended it to July 5th.
Okay.
Like you said, the Bruce Story fundraiser was very successful again this year. Chief McGrath, since you ran the Bruce Story fundraiser, do you the Bruce Story fundraiser that you facilitated? What was the total that was collected?
Over 2,000, I think 2,200.
Right, it's been very successful over the years.
With that, I'd like to introduce Justin Cole from the Phoenicia International Festival of Voice.
Do I have to stand there?
Might help. We can't hear you at home.
Good evening. Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
I do that with kids. This is going to be unique this year for a number of reasons. We are running a 5-day, more than a camp youth program. We have scholarships if anyone is interested. The program is 8 to 12 years of age. It is taking place with one of our many partners now, the Emerson Resort and Spa, where we will conduct, I think it's 8:45 to 3 o'clock daily.
I'm sorry, Justin.
Is this my good side?
Yeah, that's good.
I look good? And we're particularly excited. We're excited from a professional point of view and from a community member point of view, because we know that there are statistics available. I've worked in some of these summer festivals. There is not a serious music festival that has as its centerpiece classically high Western art music, which is what opera is. And if you've been there, you know it's not that high art. There's murder, mayhem, sex, and confusion on stage every night during an opera, I assure you. There's not a successful festival that does not have an educational component. And we worked with the parents in this community and with music faculty in both Ulster and Delaware County, and ended up, there were not 8 candidates that I interviewed that ranged from Debbie Barsha, who conducts Jersey Boys, to our very own Nancy Chusid. And Nancy was the choice. This is a vigorous program. It's not going to be easy. And it has 2 components that I think are particularly interesting. This is good for the town of Shandaken to be able to say, we do this. And that is that I think about 1/3 of the kids are already in a music program someplace, whether it's a piano lesson or a choir member. 2/3 are not musically gifted, at least that's what their parents tell me. And we are implementing instructional technology and learning theory and something called Orff instruments invented by Carl Orff. Orff was a composer, contemporary composer, who believed that a lot of kids in this world get left out from any sensible music education because they're not gifted. They didn't, it's like getting cut because you're not an athlete. And so we're particularly proud of this. It will be 5 days and result in a final concert. The concert starts with music that comes from Asian and African unwritten oral tradition through Broadway. The kids are going to perform 6 or 7 musical compositions. We have 21 events. It looks like people are now coming to us saying, oh, can't you squeeze us in? Can't you squeeze us in? I just got in from the Aspen Music Festival. And so people are chasing us down now. I think that we all should be proud of the 2 principals and trustees in the organization now. Louis just got back from Warsaw. He's the short guy in the
I'm
back.
trying to see what you would say about us without you knowing that we were in a room, so.
I think I'll turn it over to them.
No, it's okay, continue, carry on, you were about to say confidence.
Louis just returned from, we sing Verdi, we sing Wagner. I play Beethoven. You all know this about us. 19th century classical music is where it's at. And so we are proponents of the great romantics. What's curious is the more that we perform traditional music, festivals are asking us, opera companies are asking us, concert reps and agents are asking me to play modern music, contemporary music. Aaron Copland, Lenny Bernstein are not contemporary. They are old hat now in this field of classical music. And Louis has mesmerized Krzysztof Penderecki, who is still alive. I think he's 82. He's based in Warsaw. He went to see Louis perform in front of the Queen of Denmark, who wept when Louis gave his first solo. That's enough about Louis. Maria, am I okay? I'm confused here.
You're not a TV guy.
Maria received 2 reviews, positive reviews, enthusiastic reviews from the New York Times critics this season. To get a review from the New York Times is tough, and she got 2. And I assure you, I just got back from a West Coast tour that Barbara and I visited Santa Barbara. We talked about the Phoenicia International Festival of the Voice to students and grad students and faculty at the University of California. They've got a great vocal program. They want to send people to participate in our mentoring program. As you know, we are mentoring young adults who've already appeared on Broadway but need a push. And we are mentoring kids. And we also have visited the schools. So what I'm trying to say is that everything you've heard us stand up here and say for 3 years in a row is being telescoped and broadened, and we are outdistancing ourselves. We cannot do this. I know enough about business. You have to have community vested interest. And I'm not here to ask you for it. I've got it, and thank you all very, very much. If there's anybody that disagrees with me, put your hands up. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other communications? We'll go on to committee reports. Mr. Rich. Light.
Right. It's just at the very end, it's a tough show to follow. Good evening. The June 2013 report, Town of Shandaken ambulance, total calls received was 29. No mutual aid given, 1 mutual aid received. As the terms advisory, watch, and warning are not foreign to us, we must understand the terms to adequately protect ourselves and our loved ones during threatening meteorological events. As these terms pertain to many different weather scenarios, here's a general idea of how they apply for the National Weather Service. A watch, much like the flash flood watch that we're in right now until 8 p.m., indicates that conditions are favorable for the particular weather event in and near the watch area, in which may pose a risk to life and property. Watches are issued up to 48 hours in advance with forecaster confidence around 50%. Advisory indicates that the weather event will lead to nuisance conditions and a particular weather event is imminent or occurring. A warning indicates that significant weather events which will pose a risk to life and property may occur. Warnings and advisories are issued up to 48 hours in advance with forecaster confidence of at least 80%. The National Weather Service also notes that watches and warnings issued for severe thunderstorms, tornadoes, and flash flooding have much shorter lead times, as we know, on the order of hours for watches and even minutes for warnings. When in doubt, refer to normal means of notification, such as radio or television, for specific hazard instruction. We will follow up with a series of weather-related definitions over the next few months, as we receive plenty of questions regarding this important topic. In other news, we will be seeing some new faces in the next month, as a resolution to hire 4 new part-time employees is due to be voted upon tonight. These positions, a paramedic, an EMT, and 2 drivers, shall provide a much-needed shot in the arm to our schedule, as a critical few have moved on to other places, and many current employees' full-time jobs prohibit permanent daytime schedule coverage. Be sure to say hello to our new members and wish them good luck in their rewarding new jobs. Thank you and stay safe.
Thank you, Rich. James McGrath, police.
Police.
The police report for June 2013. The Shandaken Police handled 2 personal injury auto accidents, 8 property damage auto accidents, 12 animal complaints, AID, which is automatic intrusion devices, 4 founded and 7 unfounded, 1 burglary, 4 welfare checks, 5 criminal mischiefs, 1 criminal trespass, 2 disorderly conducts, 9 domestic, 3 firework complaints, 1 fraud, 3 harassments, 1 illegal dumping, which the DEC is investigating, 1 intoxicated person, 4 larcenies, misdemeanors, 1 larceny felony, 6 lockouts, 10 medicals, 3 mental health, 2 neighbor disputes, 6 noise complaints, 15 requests for patrols, 7 requests for assistance, 40 security checks, 2 shots fired, 5 traffic hazards, 8 vehicle traffic complaints, 6 911 calls. We issued 32 traffic tickets, 3 parking tickets. We had a total of 11 arrests, 19 charges. Total monies collected from fines was $3,565. We patrolled 7,716 miles. We had 39 new investigations, 20 closed investigations, 10 investigations with arrest, and 1 with a warrant. I just want to bring out 1 point, a couple, 5 points actually, on erroneous information that was disseminated last month. Our budget's $320,000. Woodstock's budget's almost $900,000 with twice the population. My salary is not $50,000, but $23,000. Arrest for 2013 was not 4, but 42. We're not a full-time department. We work 20 hours a day. Part-time salary is $18.64 and not $23. I just want to clarify that from this. Thank you.
Police water. Alfred.
Yes, sir. Just to add a little bit to the letter that you wrote to the board members and also to the committee members, just to try and put things into perspective priority-wise. The committee itself feels that closing that High Street loop really is the #1 priority. On the other hand, if it gets added to the project that you're, looking to do, we're questioning how long it's going to delay the overall project. And so I'm just throwing that out as a question, really. Because if we do get a major event, High Street, if the bridge on Bridge Street is damaged, High Street will have no water. So, I mean, that's pretty critical. If we relocate the pump house, that's a great add-on, but the question really remains how long it would take. In addition to that, there are other projects that we really would like to, if we could, get them into, whatever money is going to be available. New meters, which are electronic, which, similar to what they have up in Pinewood right now. Storage space for chemicals outside of the actual plant itself. Purchasing the pump, which was deleted from the original project, and so we only have 2 out of 3 pumps. If one fails, we're really in serious trouble. And an additional infiltration valve to provide some decent water, so it's not so silted up, which happens sometimes. When we get a high water, we get a lot of
So you're
silt.
saying 2 out of 3 pumps?
Yeah, there should have been 3 pumps originally in the plan, and we had 2, but one was deleted from the plan, the original plan, because the funds weren't there. And that's it.
Okay, again, I can address this, and we can go back and forth. My suggestion, again, is the fact that the Phoenicia Water District does not have $102,000 or $116,000 to spend on this project currently. We don't have money, period. The fact of the matter is that the Phoenicia Water District is fully operational, fully, Board of Health approved. There are no inadequacies in that system right now. Of pending doom, if you will, is the fact that we have preliminary reports stating from the Department of Health that we will more than likely be forced to filter at that High Street station. And we are not, and I certainly hope the Phoenicia Water Committee understands the issues we have with the current filtration plant alongside the stream and the erosion on the embankments. I mean, again, it's just common sense. It's no harm, no foul to put in what is called a letter of intent, which simply is just that, a letter asking that we intend to apply for these monies. And know that the state can provide you with 75% of the cost. We have previously identified the project of moving the High Street pump house. I know that wasn't on the list of priority projects when we had the first preliminary engineering report done, but that engineering report also preceded Irene. We have spent $140,000 approximately, was spent to stabilize an embankment down by the High Street pump house station. I mean, there's multiple levers that this hits on. I am not comfortable with putting a long-term debt on the district for finishing the loop. I understand the importance of the loop as a plumber. I understand the balancing of the system. I understand that you'll have an extra outlet. And it is simply as such, we can put in as addendums and break it out as simple addendums in the HMGP application. Again, if we can get the funding from a federal source, it's much cheaper for everybody in long term. Yes, these things do take some time though. It's not that we're trying to stall, but you just simply don't have the cash right now on hand to get this project completed.
Well, we're not advocating bonding either,
Okay.
so just to be clear about
I
that.
think one of the concerns of the committee is moving that pump house to a place that we don't even know yet if we can get the property. We have to do a testing drill, right? And if we property we're looking at, if we were talking about at the end of High Street up there, especially with the municipality, that, and with Alfred's expertise in real estate, in municipalities, that takes a lot more time than it would normally with a private piece of real estate. At least that's what Alfred relayed to me, it can be. So, we may be looking at 2 years down the road, if we can't get the piece of property, what do we do then? We just keep putting off the loop?
Well, again, if we can't get the piece of property, then that'll stop us right there dead in our tracks and we'll move forward. But ultimately, if you're going to be forced to filter, and you're admitting that we need to move the High Street pump station, we have to move it, no matter what. I mean, it has to be moved. It will not be able to sit there forever. That has to be moved, period. The fact that it's under, it may be under surface water intrusion and need to be filtered, now you're looking at a much bigger project, similar to the one on Plank Road. And I certainly am not going to promote or advocate for putting a filtration plant right next to the stream under the Route 28 bridge, where it's just going to get hammered again. We have an opportunity here. I've talked to Candace, who's had experience on the HMGP applications. Eric and I have discussed this at length. We feel that it would be a very successful application. We feel that you have existing appropriations within the budget as it stands. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to purchase the property outright. Let's also look at the parcels that we've identified, or the locations identified. These areas are unbuildable. You cannot do anything. Municipalities are exempt from those codes. We can get a parcel there. If we need to do it through purchase, then so be it. We would have to go through the process and make several offers. If we choose not to go that route, we could maybe look to the landowner to say, can we rent the property from you? Can we work, let's think a little bit outside the box and work within the existing appropriations of the district, where you're not going to bankrupt the district. Again, one of the major problems is the operating costs and the standard operating costs of the district itself.
Which is an issue, for sure.
Again, 145, in the letter I outlined that there's 145,000 and change in your budget, and 107 of it really can't be touched, because you have chemicals you have to purchase. Again, we know, absolutely, again, understand the chemicals need to get out.
Those funds are committed, for sure.
Again, we can buy